Welcome back to Movies TV Man, and of course you can follow me on Twitter at Movies TV Man, and welcome to Thursday's edition of the MUFC Daily. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is a manager in name only, but don't worry everyone, the nightmare on Ole Street is nearly over. We are reaching his final game, hopefully, fingers crossed, Manchester City versus Manchester United. I'm not even sure if it's away from home or at home. If it's at home, we're in real shit because we're not good at home. His only hope is to keep on playing away from home, and nobody can keep playing away from home, and he just about got away with it on Tuesday, didn't he? But Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is Manchester United manager in name only. I understand this now. It's very interesting to me. When I first heard he was coming in as caretaker manager, I kind of, even when I first heard, because I always loved him as a person and a player, but when I heard this, I thought, fuck man, no. And I thought, that's all right, he's just temporary. Then they went and made him fucking permanent. I was very suspicious of how well the team was playing under him. And I know, footballers react really well after, a negative, toxic manager leaves and a new positive kind of face and, personality comes in. But I was very surprised how good the football was. And it was very good football. Mostly counter-attack football, but it was very good. And for a few weeks, we were Manchester United again. But even before he was made permanent, the performances went down. The football changed. And that was interesting to me. And I said at the time, who is getting these players to play this football? Because it's not Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Because all of a sudden, we were playing the Ole way, like we're playing now, the shit way, the negative way, the negative defensive counter-attack Wimbledon football. But at first, when he first came in, we weren't doing that. So clearly, that wasn't him. That wasn't his coaching. So who was doing that coaching? I suspected Sir Alex Ferguson was ghosting this team, ghost coaching this team, and I think I'm right. Because all of a sudden, he stopped doing that, and then we were playing the Ole way. And we haven't stopped playing the Ole way. And it's interesting to me, the results went down a little bit just before he became permanent, but they still gave him the job. And I think lots of people, like YouTubers like Goldbridge on the United Stand, were starting to think, maybe we should hold off on this. Maybe we shouldn't maybe we should stop this Ole, Ole's on the wheel thing, or whatever, how it is. Ole's on the wheel, or Ole's at the wheel. Let's get it right. So anyway, they made him permanent, and the nightmare began. And, we went down this journey at first of kind of giving him the benefit of the doubt, but it was obvious what was happening. He was playing negative counter-attacking football. And it went on, and it's only got worse. Now, at first, his decisions, this is really weird as well. In his first season or so, his decisions seemed really good. He was letting go the people we wanted him to let go of. He was clearing out the closet, if you like. Oh, I love that Eminem song, even though he's dissing his own mother. Although when my mum, God rest her soul, used to piss me off, I always used to play that song loudly. Really used to annoy her. Hey, mama! Anyway, clearing out my closet. Anyway, so, yeah, it was weird. Because he was making the right decisions, even though you could tell the football wasn't great. But certainly not as bad as it was now. I mean, he's taken it to another... with Ole, the more scared he is about losing his job, the worse football he plays. So it was interesting. He was making good decisions, but the football was shit. And then all of a sudden, let me tell you what exposed him, because I think it was Van der Beek that exposed him. I don't know why he bought Van der Beek, if it was him who decided to bring in Van der Beek. I still suspect that he had no say in bringing in Van der Beek, and I suspect he had no say in bringing back Cristiano Ronaldo to the club. That's just my opinion. But yeah, that's what exposed him. Because it seems that he was very triggered by Van der Beek from the very beginning. And he played him a little bit at first, but very surely and quickly, he was dropping him. He was reducing his match time. And everyone started getting very, very suspicious. Because at the end of the day, people ain't stupid. No matter what the clubs say about us fans, or whatever Solskjaer and the players say about fans on the internet, we're very knowledgeable, intelligent people, and you can't pull the fucking wool from under our eyes. And, this is what they tried to do. But it was obvious there was some kind of weirdness between these two people. And, you know, he keeps on talking about sulking players, and he's talking about Sancho, but mostly VDB, Van der Beek. So the undoing of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was from the moment Van der Beek came to the club, which proves he never signed him. How could he have done if he never plays him? But then Sancho, he signed him but never plays him. Was Sancho his decision? I suspect that Sancho was a club decision. Even from the outside looking in, when we were going after him, it felt like the club were going after him. He's a young, really good player, doing well in Germany. Let's grab him. He's a good prospect for the future. He'll be here for 10, 15 years. So I think those two players were bought. Maybe even John Murtough, before he was director of football, was making these decisions. So I think John decided to bring in Van der Beek and Sancho as well. And by the way, well done, John. They're good decisions, but this manager is refusing to play them. And it's interesting what John and the club now think about this situation, because if the club have brought in these two players and, you know, he's kind of rejecting them, why is he rejecting them? Well, we spoke about this yesterday. They're too attack-minded, and they lack defensive kind of running back, you know, and closing down players' capabilities. It's not that they're refusing to do it. It's not their strength. Their strength is their skill, their, you know, their technical ability, their, you know, their ability to make something happen. So they're not for Ole. They were bought for Ole, but they're not for Ole because Ole is a negative, you know, counter-attacking defensive manager. And I can see through this, and a lot of people are not seeing through this. And it's interesting that no one with lots of followers who talks about United is talking about this either. There's no way, because if Ole at the volley, but if Ole brought in Sancho and Van der Beek, why does he never play them? It doesn't make sense, does it? I mean, you'd have to be fucking insane to buy people for so much money. I mean, we're talking about those two players must be worth 120 million between them. Must be, maybe more. And God knows how much they fucking get paid a fucking week. I don't even want to think about what they get paid a day. But yeah, you'd have to be nuts to buy those two players and never use them. So it's obvious that someone forced those players on him. Oh no, I've got Sancho and Van der Beek, two of the best attacking players in world football. How dare you? He doesn't like them. They expose him. But there's no question, before Van der Beek came, Ole was hiding. Ole was pretending to be this great United manager that believed in the principles of the club. And even though I didn't want him to be manager from the very beginning, I thought it was a good idea as a temporary coach, even though at first I thought, what? But permanent, I never made him permanent. And of course I was singing Ole's at the wheel, but it doesn't mean I wanted him to become permanent. I thought it was a ridiculous decision, and now we know why. Because he's fucking cheap and controllable. We know that. Glazer's out. But, yeah, VDB was the moment that this guy lost his job. We didn't know about it yet. He didn't know about it. Because what VDB is a great fucking footballer. Though anyone who knows anything about football within the game or outside the game, footballers I talk to, that I'm friends with, right, talk about footballers and they talk about VDB. And you know, the reaction to Ole's treatment of VDB from people within the game is fucking shock. They say it to me. They say, Mick, we genuinely, please don't name drop us, please don't talk about us publicly, and they trust me enough not to do so. So this is why they talk openly and honestly to me. They say, Mick, we can't believe how this guy's being treated. And you know, that's us on the outside feel that way, and people on the inside feel that way as well. So it's disgusting. This is sackable behaviour. So Van der Beek is the moment that Ole got himself the sack. But it's like, you know, it's like the Green Mile, isn't it? You know, there's a dead man walking along the Green Mile, however they used to say it before they, you know, electrocuted someone on death row. But he's been on death row basically since Van der Beek came to the club. And it's interesting how he's exposed himself. He hasn't even tried with the guy because he doesn't, he can't play in a negative formation that Ole wants to put out. And I'll reiterate what I said yesterday as well. It's funny now because everyone was having an orgasm about this five at the back. What's he going to do on Saturday against City? Because now we've seen that that doesn't work either. So what's he going to do? I said yesterday, attack, attack, attack. Four at the back, two wingers, two central midfielders, a couple up front, however it works. I'm no football expert, by the way, as you know. But Make it attacking. Attack is our only way now, under Ollie. But he won't do it. That's how he keeps his job. Because we can, with our players, we can fucking outscore anyone. We can't defend anyone. We can see that. And our defence is decimated. Varane is now out with a hamstring injury for 3 or 4 weeks. And Maguire, who we've all criticised, of course, was rushed back 10 or 11 days early. My friends, my fellow Manchester United Football Club fans, this is sackable behaviour. He rushed back Rashford. He's rushed back Maguire. This is sackable behaviour. First of all, you could ruin a footballer's career by doing that. But you see, Ollie's toxic old school. Are you a man or a mouse? I see the way he talks and I don't like it. He's very 80s football mentality and I don't like that. You do have to treat these footballers, as I say, I'm friends with some of them, and you do have to treat them with kid gloves. Let me tell you why, because they're people. They need motivating like you and me. Now I have to motivate myself to come on here and get up in the morning and write my scripts and, and my stories for the plays I perform in, but I have people around me who motivate me as well. Without people motivating us, it's difficult. And players need kid gloves. And Van der Beek hasn't been given kid gloves, hasn't been treated very well. But personally, I think that, rushing back Maguire, 11 days before he should have been brought back, is disgusting. Because I want you to think about this. It's not just the 11 days. It's they still carry on doing gym work. There's the rehabilitation he would have been doing with those 11 days. As I say, everyone, this is sackable behaviour. But it doesn't matter anymore. Hopefully, we are approaching Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's final game in charge of Manchester United. Because this man is manager in name only. This has been the MUFC Daily. I'm Mick, your host with the most. Just ask your girlfriends and your wives. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you never miss this perfection. I mean, after all, who would want to? And I'll be back tomorrow with even more MUFC Daily. Until then, peace. See you again soon.